Chapter 14, Transformations. Today we're going to look at Section 14.2, Reflections, Day 2. And our objective is to locate images of figures by reflection. And we're going to look at mini golf and how to get a hole in one. Show how a player would hit the ball from T so that it would go into the hole H. And the first thing I sort of look at is there any way for me to, say, hit the ball from T and make it directly into H? And in this case, there's not because the wall is in the way. So how might you have to bounce it off of a wall to get it from T to H? So I just started thinking of the various possible ways. I could get something complicated. What if I hit the ball here and it sort of bounced back and forth and eventually went here, bounced up there? There might be one possible path. And as you go through these paths, the thing that's important is whatever angle the ball hits the wall at, it has to bounce off at the same angle. And then when it hits the second wall, whatever angle it hits at, it has to bounce off at the same angle. So how can you figure out where the path is going to go to get the exact spot to make it in the hole? So I'd like to start with one that's a little simpler than the one we're looking at. So let's try to get maybe the easiest path that I can come up with. So I just start looking what seems like it would be possible. I know I can't get there in one straight shot. Could I bounce it off of this top wall and then have it go into the hole? Well, it doesn't look like these angles up at the top are the same size. So it looks like that would be out. So I can't bank it off of one wall. I'm going to have to bank it off of two walls. So I'm thinking it looks like I might be able to bank it off the left, bounce it up off the top, and then make it into the hole. So if that's the situation, I'm at least thinking that the first spot it's going to hit the wall is somewhere over here. The second spot it's going to hit the wall is somewhere up there, and that's going to eventually make it into the hole. Now I need to figure out where are the exact spots where I need to hit. So I work my way backwards from the hole to eventually the tee. So here's how I start. So from the hole, I know that it's going to get banked off of the top wall someplace. So I need to find what's the distance from the hole to the top wall and do the reflection. So if I look from the hole to the top wall is a distance of 2. So if I go 2 above that, I'd get that the reflection of H is up here, and I'm going to call it H prime. Now, before hitting that wall, it was going to hit the wall over on the left. So now I'm really looking at what if I do the reflection about the wall on the left. So from H to this wall on the left, how far is that? Because I need to do the reflection. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the left and realize that H double prime is over here. And I can actually hit from the tee straight towards that shot. So here's what things would look like. If I aimed straight for this point out here, the ball would bank off the wall right at that spot. And when it bounces off the wall, it's then going to bounce straight towards H prime. So bouncing straight towards H prime means it would bounce going straight towards this point over here, just missing the corner, so we sort of lucked out there. And then it's going to hit the wall up here, bounce off of that spot. And when it bounces off of there, it's going to bounce and go directly into the hole. So there's sort of a 2-bank shot off the left wall off the top, going right into the hole. Let's look at another one. Maybe you didn't want to do that shot. And there's not just one shot that ends up working. So the first thing I like to do is try to plan out what is my path. So without getting too complicated, let's say going backwards from the hole, I wanted it to bounce maybe here, there, over here, and then down that way. I'm not too concerned about the angles right now. So I'm sort of just numbering, and this time I'm going to actually number it backwards. So if I number it backwards from the hole, here's the first side I have to do a reflection from. Then up at the top is going to be the second side I have to do a reflection from. And then over here is going to be the third side I have to do a reflection. So this one bounces off the wall 3 times, so I'm going to have to do 3 reflections. So let's see what the reflections would look like. So starting backwards from H. So my first reflection is going to be about the side that it hits first. So I sort of check. This distance is 2, so the reflection would be 2 away this way, and I get H prime over here. Now, The second wall that I need to reflect about is where it would bounce off the second time. Well, that's the top wall. So now I'm going to do a reflection about that one. So to get from H prime to that wall is a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to go 6 above there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I get that H double prime is all the way up here at the top. Well, from there, it would have to bounce off of the third wall. And if I look, my third wall is actually over here. So if I extend it all the way up, here's where the third wall is. Well, let's count and see where the reflection would be. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 away. So I got to go 10 to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here's going to be H triple prime. So it was going to bounce off of 3 walls. I found my 3 reflections, and now I can draw them in. So from the T, I would aim straight towards H triple prime. And as I aim that way, I know that it's going to bounce off of the wall right here. And after it bounces off of there, it's going to bounce from H triple prime over to H double prime. So it's going to aim right towards that one. And it's going to go in that path until it hits the wall. And once it hits the wall over here, it's going to then bounce from H double prime over to H prime. So it's going to bounce right in that direction. And it's going to hit the wall again. And once it bounces off of that wall, the only place for it left to go is right into the hole. So there's the exact path. I sort of highlighted. So it's going to go, hit the wall, come up this way, hit the wall, come down, hit the wall, and eventually go right into the hole. And you could make the paths as complicated as you want, as long as you just kept doing the reflections and you had a piece of graph paper big enough to do as many reflections as you wanted.